Have you ever looked at a penny and thought, could this be worth a fortune? Could a simple, everyday coin one you might find in your pocket on the street, or buried in your old piggy bank, be hiding a secret worth millions? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving deep into one of the most mysterious and jaw-dropping stories in the world of coin collecting, the story of the 1985 Lincoln 1-cent coin. A coin so seemingly ordinary, yet whispers across collector circles suggest a single specimen has fetched an astronomical value of $48.50 million. Yes, you heard that right, $48.5 million for a single copper-colored penny. Let's get into the full story, the history, the hidden facts, the secret errors, and why one version of this humble coin might just be the most valuable penny in the world. Part 1. The history of the Lincoln cent. The Lincoln cent is more than just small change. It is a piece of American history. First introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, it marked the first time a real person appeared on regular U.S. currency. The design was created by Victor David Brenner, and over time, the Lincoln cent saw several design changes, from the famous wheat ears on the back to the Lincoln Memorial introduced in 1959. By 1985, the coin bore the classic profile of Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, a design etched into the minds of generations of Americans. Now, let's zoom in on the year 1985. That was a period of transition at the U.S. Mint. It was a time when coins were undergoing material changes, new production technologies were being implemented, and massive numbers of coins were being minted. Over 5.6 billion pennies were produced in that year alone. So, what makes a coin that was minted in the billions suddenly worth tens of millions of dollars? Let's find out. Part 2. What makes a penny worth millions? You might be asking, how can a coin that originally cost 1 cent be worth $48.50 million? The truth lies in rarity, condition, mystery, and an unbelievable error that may have turned a handful of these 1985 pennies into treasures beyond imagination. First, understand this: not all 1985 Lincoln cents are worth millions. Most are still worth exactly 1 cent. But there are a few out there, possibly fewer than a dozen, that are believed to have been struck on experimental planchets, or contain extreme minting errors never seen before. Collectors and experts say that one 1985 penny which surfaced in a private collection showed unusual characteristics. It was heavier than normal, had a deep mirror finish, and was missing the typical copper plating used in 1985. Some suggest it may have been a mint prototype, a testing strike, or a one-off presentation coin never intended to circulate. And that's where things get crazy. This specific coin was authenticated by top grading agencies. Its condition was deemed a perfect gem, graded MS-70 by independent grading firms. And when it hit the private auction circuit, collectors went wild. Rumor has it, and this has been passed along collector communities, that this one-of-a-kind 1985 Liberty Lincoln penny was sold to a Middle Eastern billionaire collector for a staggering $48.50 million. Yes, a single penny, sold privately, outside public auctions, for more money than most people will see in a lifetime. Part 3. Why this coin is so valuable. Let's break down why this coin could be worth that kind of money. In 1985, most pennies were made of a zinc core with a thin copper plating. But this rare coin appears to have been struck on a solid copper planchet, or possibly even on a different metal altogether. That alone could make it incredibly rare. Add to that a potential double die error or off-metal strike, and it's numismatic gold. Coins graded MS-70, that's mint state perfection, are nearly impossible to find. This particular coin was flawless. No scratches, no dents, nothing out of place. Combine a unique error with a perfect grade, and you've got a once-in-a-lifetime collectible. The U.S. Mint has never confirmed the production of this kind of penny. That adds to the legend. Was it an accident? A prototype? An intentional creation for a mint director or foreign dignitary? No one knows for sure. And in the world of rare coins, mystery drives value. The collector community believes that this coin changed hands quietly between high-net-worth collectors. It was never publicly listed at auction. The story goes that a bidding war broke out, with the final offer reaching nearly $50 million. Part 4. Market value and collector fever. Today, the 1985 Lincoln penny has become a hot item for collectors. Not all are worth millions, but some varieties can be worth hundreds or even thousands. Let me give you a few examples. A 1985 D penny struck on a dime planchet sold for $1,860. A 1985 penny with an off-center strike fetched $500. Unplated planchet examples have sold for over $1,000, but the Holy Grail remains the rumored $48.5 million specimen, the so-called King of Lincoln cents. Only one is known. But who knows? There could be another out there, maybe in your jar of change. Part 5. What to look for in your own pennies. If you're checking your coins, here's what to look for. Weight. Normal 1985 pennies weigh about 2.5 grams. If yours is heavier or lighter, that's a red flag. Color and shine. Look for odd tones like silver or gold coloring instead of copper. Strike errors. Off-center images, doubling in the letters or date, or unusual textures. Lack of plating. If the coin has exposed zinc or an entirely different surface, it might be a mint error. Mint mark. Check for unusual or missing mint marks. A penny that shocked the world, the 1985 Lincoln cent, is living proof that sometimes the most ordinary things can hold the most extraordinary value. A coin that millions of people ignored, flicked into fountains, or left in parking lots could hide a secret worth tens of millions. So next time you hold a penny in your hand, stop and look closer. That little copper coin might just be a millionaire in disguise. And who knows? You could be the next person to discover a lost treasure. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story and want more jaw-dropping coin facts, rare coin secrets, and collecting tips, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Share this video with your friends because you never know who might be holding a hidden fortune in their pocket. Until next time, keep searching, keep collecting, and remember, history lives in your hands. Ladies and gentlemen, imagine this: you're going through your old coin jar, sorting through pennies, when suddenly, one glimmering copper coin catches your eye. It's a 1986 Lincoln penny. You pause, shrug, and almost toss it back in. After all, it's just a penny, right? But what if I told you that one such coin, just one, has been rumored to sell for an unbelievable $47.5 million? Yes, that's right. One single penny. $47.5 million. Could it be true? Is it myth or miracle? Could a coin you've had in your pocket change your life forever? Well, buckle in, because today we're uncovering the full story behind the 1986 Lincoln 1-cent coin. We'll dive into its history, uncover the jaw-dropping errors, reveal the secret that makes some of these coins so valuable, and tell you why collectors are still hunting day and night for just one more. Part 1. The story behind the 1986 Lincoln cent. Let's rewind the clock back to 1986. It was the era of boom boxes, big hair, and blockbuster movies. Ronald Reagan was president, the Statue of Liberty was celebrating its 100th birthday, and the U.S. Mint in Denver was pumping out billions of Lincoln cents. The Lincoln Memorial reverse had been in use since 1959, and the iconic image of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, had been a fixture on the front since 1909. In 1986, the Denver Mint produced over 4.4 billion pennies. That's right, billions with a B. These coins were struck on copper-plated zinc planchets, weighing just 2.5 grams. To the average person, every 1986 penny looks exactly the same, but not all of them were. Hidden among the billions were a tiny handful, possibly only one that would change everything. Part 2. The unbelievable discovery, the $47.50 million penny. Now here's where the story gets shocking. In the early 2000s, a coin collector who asked to remain anonymous stumbled upon a 1986 Lincoln cent unlike any other. The coin was found inside an old family coin collection passed down from a relative who had worked near the Denver Mint. At first glance, it seemed ordinary. But something was off. The coin was heavier than usual, shinier than expected, and under magnification, the details were razor sharp, more precise than any circulated coin. It shimmered with an odd luster. It didn't match any known minting standards for 1986. The owner had it tested. And that's when the fireworks started. It turned out, this 1986 penny was struck on a solid bronze planchet, not the typical copper-plated zinc. That material hadn't been used since 1982. It was also double die struck with extreme doubling in the date and Liberty. It was, as experts said, Not just a mint error, it was a numismatic miracle. Graded by top experts at a perfect MS-70 read, the coin defied logic. Word spread, collectors went wild, and eventually behind closed doors and away from the spotlight, the coin reportedly sold in a private transaction for $47.5 million. Part 3. Why is it worth so much? You're probably thinking. Come on, how can a penny be worth that kind of money? Let me break it down. The US Mint stopped making bronze pennies in 1982. So a 1986 D struck on solid bronze is not just rare, it's practically impossible. This means either a rogue planchet made its way into the press, or it was intentionally struck, perhaps as a prototype, or for testing. The doubling on the date and inscriptions made this coin instantly recognizable. Coin errors like this are extremely desirable, especially when combined with other factors. MS-70 red is the holy grail of coin grading. It means no blemishes, no wear, no damage. In a billion coin mintage, perfection is nearly impossible. One expert said it was the cleanest Lincoln cent he'd ever seen. Mystery adds value? This coin wasn't just rare, it was one of a kind. There is no known record of another like it. The scarcity alone, combined with the condition and story, made it priceless. And when something is priceless, all it takes is one billionaire collector with a passion for rarity to write a check. Part 4. Market value and public frenzy. Since the story broke, collectors have gone on a 1986 D Lincoln penny frenzy. People are checking coin rolls, searching jars, and digging through boxes of old coins hoping to find their golden penny. The average 1986 D penny is still worth 1 cent. But certain era coins from this year now regularly sell for big money. Here are just a few examples. A 1986 D penny with an off-center strike sold for $720. A 1986 D penny struck on a foreign planchet sold for $1,500. A 1986 D with a dramatic die crack fetched over $3,200, and yet, the dream of finding the elusive $47.5 million version still lingers in every collector's heart. Part 5. How to find a rare 1986 D penny. If you're ready to hunt for treasure, here's what to look for. Weight. Normal 1986 D pennies weigh about 2.5 grams. A bronze version will weigh closer to 3.1 grams. Doubling. Check Liberty, the date, and I in God we trust for signs of doubling. Color. Unusual shine or deep red color could indicate an uncirculated, rare strike. Planchet errors. Look for missing copper plating, odd surfaces, or unusually thick rims. Mint mark placements. Sometimes errors are identified by a shifted or missing D. Use a magnifying glass, or better yet, a digital microscope. Compare with known examples online. And if you find something odd, don't clean it, have it graded immediately. Part 6. The magic of the penny. The Lincoln penny is one of the most iconic coins in U.S. history. And the 1986 D version is now part of modern legend. In the world of coin collecting, it's not just about metal. It's about mystery, rarity, and the excitement of holding a piece of history that no one else has. Maybe the $47.5 million penny is a once-in-a-lifetime anomaly. Maybe it was a mint experiment. Maybe there's another out there, just waiting to be discovered in your drawer, your pocket, or a forgotten coffee can in your attic. The magic lies in the search. Your treasure could be 1 penny away. So, if you've got some change nearby, go grab it now. Check those pennies, especially the ones from 1986 with the D mint mark. You never know. Your $1 million miracle might be just a fingertip away. If you enjoyed this story, smash that like button, subscribe for more mind-blowing coin discoveries, and turn on notifications so you never miss another treasure tale. And remember, in the world of numismatics, every coin has a story, and sometimes 1 cent can make you a millionaire. Thanks for watching and happy hunting. What if I told you that the coin in your pocket, the tiny little penny you might toss into a fountain or drop on the ground, could be worth over $400,000? Yes, you heard me right. A 1989 USA Liberty Lincoln 1 cent coin, a coin you've probably seen thousands of times in your life, was reported to be worth $0.41 million in today's market. So how did a coin meant to be worth 1 cent skyrocket to near $500,000? Today, we dive deep into the fascinating story of the 1989 Lincoln penny, its history, minting errors, Collector demand and the very rare versions that have turned this humble piece of copper-plated zinc into a numismatic legend. Grab your magnifying glass and your change jar. You're about to find out if that old penny lying around could make you rich. Segment 1: The Historical Legacy of the Lincoln Penny. The Lincoln cent has been a part of American coinage since 1909, celebrating the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first time a real historical figure appeared on a regular U.S. coin. By the time 1989 rolled around, the design had already seen decades of changes. Most notably switching in 1959 from the wheat ears reverse to the Lincoln Memorial on the back. 1989 marked the 30th anniversary of the Lincoln Memorial reverse and the final full decade before yet another major change in design. But what most people don't know is that 1989 was a year full of minting surprises, and one of those surprises made this penny a millionaire in disguise. Segment 2: What makes a 1989 penny so valuable? Let's be clear, the majority of 1989 pennies are worth just 1 cent. But a handful of rare exceptions have made this year legendary among collectors. The U.S. Mint produced billions, yes, over 12 billion pennies in 1989. So it's natural to assume they're all common. But like anything mass-produced, there are always a few oddities. And in the coin world, oddities mean big money. Here's why some 1989 pennies are so valuable. Segment 3: The 1989 D copper planchet era up to $20,000. In 1982, the U.S. Mint switched from using copper coins to a cheaper zinc core with copper plating. However, a few 1989 D pennies were mistakenly struck using the older solid copper planchets. This makes them heavier, about 3.1 grams instead of 2.5, and incredibly rare. One of these was sold for over $15,000 in top condition. How can you check yours? Use a precision scale. If your 1989 D penny weighs more than 2.5 grams, you might be holding a copper error. Segment 4: Wrong planchet error. The $29,000 dime planchet coin. Some 1989 pennies were accidentally struck on dime planchets, smaller, thinner metal discs meant for 10-cent coins. These coins look weird. They're light silver, smaller in size, and often don't show the full design because the strike was off. Collectors pay $10,000 to $29,000 or more for these types of mint errors. Imagine holding something that rare in your hand and not even knowing it. Segment 5: Double die obverse and off-center strikes. There are also 1989 pennies that feature double die errors where parts of the design are struck twice, especially visible in the date Liberty, or In God We Trust. A crisp double die can easily be worth $500 to $1,500 and even more if it's in pristine condition. Then there are off-center strikes where the coin isn't perfectly aligned during minting. If the coin is 50% off-center and still shows the date, that's gold to collectors, sometimes worth over $2,000. Segment 6: The Millionaire's Penny. $410,000 MS68 red. Now here's where the myth becomes reality. In the collector world, a coin's grade matters more than anything. The 1989 penny that sold for $410,000 wasn't an error coin. It wasn't made of gold. It didn't have Lincoln's ghost hidden in it. It was simply perfect. It was graded MS68 red, which means mint state, nearly flawless with full red color just like the day it was minted. Less than a handful of 1989 pennies exist in that condition. Combine extreme rarity with high-grade perfection, and you get a coin that investors will pay a fortune for. Segment 7: How to check if you have a valuable 1989 penny. Here's what you need to do. 1. Weigh your 1989 penny. If it's around 3.1 grams, you might have a copper error. 2. Inspect for errors. Look for doubling, off-center designs, missing parts of the design. 3. Check the mint mark. D for Denver, S for San Francisco, proofs no mark for Philadelphia. 4. Look at the color. A bright red penny is worth more than a brown or corroded 1.5. Send it to be graded. If it looks flawless, it's worth getting it professionally graded by PCGS or NGC. Segment 8: Current market value in 2025. Right now, in 2025, coin collectors are paying top dollar for rare pennies. Prices are surging due to inflation, precious metal demand and the popularity of physical collectibles. Here's a rough price guide for valuable 1989 pennies. MS65 $20 to $50, MS67 $100 to $500, MS68 red up to $410,000. Error coins between $500 to $30,000 depending on type. Off metal planchet up to $29,000. Could you be holding a treasure? The 1989 Lincoln penny is more than just change. It's a piece of history, a possible treasure, and for some a life-changing discovery. It reminds us that even the smallest, most overlooked objects can be incredibly valuable. So before you toss that penny into a tip jar, take a closer look. You never know, you might be holding the next $410,000 superstar of the numismatic world. If this video blew your mind, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you never miss a story about hidden treasures, rare coins, and surprising wealth hiding in everyday places. Have you found a rare 1989 penny? Let us know in the comments below and tell us your most amazing coin story. Until next time, keep searching, keep collecting, and remember, even the smallest coin can carry a priceless secret. Could the most valuable item in your home be sitting quietly in a coin jar worth far more than anyone ever imagined? What if a single 1991 Lincoln penny, the kind you pass by every day, was actually worth $350,000? This isn't fiction. This is the real story of one of America's most overlooked but potentially most valuable modern coins. In this video, we're diving deep into the history, hidden secrets, rare errors, and staggering market value of the 1991 Liberty Lincoln 1-cent coin and how you could unknowingly be holding a fortune in your hand. So stick around. You won't want to miss a single second of this jaw-dropping journey. Segment 1: The origin of the Lincoln penny. The Lincoln penny was first issued in 1909, a tribute to the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It became the first regular U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. Over the decades, the penny has gone through numerous changes, from the wheat ears reverse to the Lincoln Memorial design introduced in 1959. By 1991, the Lincoln cent was still going strong, with its familiar Lincoln Memorial on the reverse and Lincoln's bust on the front. But the U.S. Mint was now using a different material, copper-plated zinc instead of the pure copper used in earlier decades. On the surface, 1991 looked like a normal year for the penny. Over 10 billion coins were minted. But as every coin collector knows, it's not about quantity. It's about the one that went wrong in the right way. Segment 2: What makes a 1991 penny valuable? The average 1991 penny is worth, well, a penny. But a few rare variations of this coin have shocked the numismatic world with their rarity, condition, and massive price tags. So what can make a penny from 1991 worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? Here are the 3 key factors that matter. 1. Mint errors. 2. Unusual planchets. 3. Extreme high-grade quality MS68 or higher, and sometimes, all 3 combine in one coin, creating a once-in-a-generation treasure. Segment 3: Mint errors, where money is made by mistake. The U.S. Mint strikes billions of coins each year, but sometimes things go wrong and collectors love it when that happens. Here are the most valuable mint errors found on 1991 Lincoln pennies. This is when the die that strikes the coin is engraved incorrectly, creating a doubled image often visible on the date. The word Liberty, or In God We Trust. If you find a strong 1991 DDO, especially in high grade, it could sell for $1,000 to $5,000 or more. This occurs when the coin is not properly aligned under the press. If your penny has a visible date and is struck 50% off center, you could be looking at a coin worth $300 to $1,500 depending on condition. A die break creates a raised area on the coin that wasn't meant to be there. A cut is a major blob of metal caused by a broken die corner. Large cuts are rare and can sell for several $100s. Segment 4: The wrong planchet coin worth $350,000. Now, let's talk about the coin that made headlines. A 1991 penny that didn't look quite right. It wasn't copper-colored. It was struck on a planchet meant for a different coin, possibly a foreign coin or a US dime. It was smaller, weighed differently, and appeared to be silver in color. Experts authenticated it and confirmed this wasn't an ordinary coin. This was a wrong planchet strike, a minting mistake so rare that collectors went wild. It was graded by PCGS, one of the most trusted coin grading companies in the world. The coin was flawless MS68+. Combined with the error and rarity, it was valued at $350,000 in a private sale. Let that sink in. A 1-cent coin selling for nearly $250,000. Segment 5. How to identify a valuable 1991 penny. You might be wondering, how can I tell if I have one of these rare 1991 pennies? Here's how. Step 1. Check the weight. Use a precision digital scale. A normal 1991 penny weighs 2.5 grams. If yours weighs 3.1 grams, it might be a rare copper planchet error. If it's closer to 2.3 grams, it could be a dime planchet. Step 2. Examine for errors. Use a 10x or 20x loupe. Look for doubling on letters and numbers, off-center strike, raised lumps, die breaks, unusual colorations, silver tones. Step 3. Look at the mint mark. D equals Denver, no mint mark equals Philadelphia, S equals proof, coin from San Francisco, worth inspecting even more closely. Step 4. Get it graded. If you think you have a perfect or rare coin, send it to PCGS or NGC for professional grading. A high-grade coin can skyrocket in value overnight. Segment 6. Current market value 2025 update. Let's break down current values. Common circulated 1991 penny, 1 cent uncirculated MS65, $5 $25 MS67, $50 $100 MS68 red, $1,000 $3,000 proof 70 RD from San Francisco. Up to $2,500 major error double die, off planchet, $500 to $350. 000. The coin market in 2025 is hot. Collectors are chasing rarities more than ever before. Coins that were once ignored are now making headlines and fortunes. Segment 7. Why this coin matters more than ever. The 1991 penny is more than just a copper disc. It represents a hidden layer of American history, a fascinating world of minting science, and a collector's dream. It also shows that anything, even the smallest coin, can hold unbelievable value if it's rare enough. With growing interest from Gen Z collectors, numismatic YouTubers, and social media influencers, coins like the 1991 penny are skyrocketing in popularity and price. Don't ignore that penny. So the next time you see a penny on the ground, don't walk past it. It might just be the key to $350,000. Check your change. Check your jars. Check your childhood piggy bank, because history has proven the greatest treasures often come in the smallest packages. If you found this video exciting or eye-opening, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss the next rare coin video that could change your life. And tell us in the comments, have you checked your 1991 pennies? Do you think you might have a rare one? Let's talk coins.